dedication and and focus, a lot of focus. This show really taught me that you need a hell lot of focus to be on the top.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. How about you?
Hi, I'm Danielle Canute. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Mumbai. And I'm currently just in college. And I think I was really lucky to be on this show and be a part of what like all 13 of us got to do. And I think what it takes to be a top model is definitely be prepared for what comes your way. Because I think all of us know being a model isn't easy. And many a times people misunderstand what we do. And I think being content with yourself and being confident about, what you portray and what you are as a person too, because you're going to get like harsh comments and criticisms and I don't know. I think at the end of the day, if you're happy with what you've done and if you're confident and you're like, okay, I can get up tomorrow and give in my 100% if I didn't do it today. So I think just being prepared for whatever comes your way. That's how you get to the top.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean, at 18, you already sound like you know it all. But tell me something, Danielle. What did you do to prepare for the show? Is there something you did before you got here when you heard that you were finally going to be part of it? Did you do something special?
So actually, I've been following America's Next Top Model since the time I've been small. So I knew what I was getting into, but I actually didn't have any modeling experience. So I was really scared about how I would do on the show. But I think gradually you're on your own
to be a model, and obviously patience, because nothing comes easy and you have to work really hard. So that's what I've learned through this. It was an amazing experience being on this show because it's taught us so much, and there's so much grooming, there's so much makeover for us that, we've actually changed after this few days that we've been here. So it's really a good experience being here.
So Aditi, tell me, you said it requires change, right? Like you went through makeovers. Did you go through makeovers just physically, or did you make over yourself?
It's physically, as you can see, and mentally, everything, because I personally haven't been alone like this with 13 girls competing and being friends at the same time. There is a lot of drama, there is friendship, there's a lot of stuff. So it has made me grow a lot in every aspect.
Wow. Sweet.
Hi guys, my name is Malvika Sitlani. I'm 22 years old. I'm from Mumbai. For me, I believe to be a model, you need to be really, really strong because this industry, there are a lot of ups and downs and it's crazy out there. So to keep that intact and remember where you're from, stick to your roots, I think that's the most important, and believe in yourself because there'll be a lot of distractions happening, a lot of comments, but you have to remember that, you know what, you're the best and, this industry is beautiful and you just have to give in your 100% and you'll get what you work for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you said you got to remember where you're from, right? Did this change you in a way that you could not have fathomed? Did you expect basically this whole thing to happen? Was modeling your dream forever, or did that change?
Yes. No, modeling is my dream. And what I'm trying to say is this show puts you in uncomfortable situations and you have to own it. And I think that's the most important thing because I've never been in uncomfortable situations. I've always been in my safe zone. And I think being on this show has taught me, it has made me grow as a model. So I think that, and sticking to your roots, I mean by there are a lot of distractions happening, a lot of people around you, and you tend to fit in. But I think you don't have to fit in because you're here for a reason, and why you are here is because of who you are. So I think sticking to your roots is important, and you're special. So
that is so sweet. Thank you. What about you?
Hi, my name is Sri Radhe, and I'm 20 years old, and I come from the city of Allahabad. And for me, the most important thing when I place myself as a model is दूसरे लोगों का जो टाइम होता है उसको रिस्पेक्ट करना, क्योंकि एज अ मॉडल आप दूसरे डिजाइनर्स के साथ आप वर्क करते हो, मेकअप आर्टिस्ट के साथ आप वर्क करते हो, सो दैट टाइम हर चीज़ आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं होती, आपको किसी के अंडर काम करना होता है. So I think respecting other people's time, and you have to be very accommodating. The stylist will want you to be a certain way, the designer will want you to be a certain way. So I think you have to be on point and you have to be very alert to what people expect of you.
Wow, well said. But I've always had this question. Is it tougher to walk the ramp or to pose?
I think both are very easy.
Oh,
because-
really?
Yeah. I enjoy ramp, I enjoy posing. So whatever you enjoy, it's easy. Nothing is tough.
Wow, is there anything else that you guys would want to say to all of the other girls sitting back at home wanting to be models, jealous of you guys getting this awesome opportunity? Is there anything you want to say to them?
Yeah, it's an awesome platform, and for anybody aspiring to be a model, I think they can all watch the show and get to learn something new for sure, because it's changed us in such a way that we'd never imagined. We saw ourselves in a different light, and here, throughout the course, we've changed so much. We've been groomed so much by the experts in the industry, and I think any aspiring model would want that, right? So.
Absolutely. Well said. Anybody else?
Actually, it's just that anyone sitting home right now, we were all just like you. I mean, none of us really thought we would be here. None of us really thought we would be here and be a part of it. I know that I never really had the guts or like courage to kind of get up on stage or be in front of people and talk. And this show like changed me as a person, not just transforming how I am, how I look, how I talk, but literally like I felt like I found myself here. So I think it's just that, go out, do whatever you think you should. Just give it a try. So that's it.
Wow, thank you. So I think what all of you all are trying to say is that fashion and being a model is not a cakewalk,
Yeah.
right? So I want everyone to meet the panelists who are going to determine the fate of all of you beautiful girls. Can we please have the AVs for our panelists?
fantastic. I think this show is especially close to my heart because it's about helping other models groom themselves and, you know, achieve their aspirations. And I think the process has been very emotional for all of us because we've gotten very close to all of the girls, and they all come from very different and diverse parts of the country. And being able to share my experience with them has been very empowering for me.
Wow. So, I mean, through this entire journey, other than what you've already like known modeling to be as, is there one quality that you think stands out for a model to be on top?
I think a lot of people think modeling is just about looking good and being beautiful and being tall, and while those are attributes you definitely need to have to be a model, it's a lot more about your creativity and your talent and your hard work. I think that to be a model is actually, well, modeling is actually an art, and I think what I expect and what I looked for the most in these girls is how much of that they could bring to the table, how much of their personality, persona, character, experience, style, and all of these various things. You know, to be when you are a top model, you're shooting for really big magazines like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar and Elle and Cosmopolitan, and you're not even advertising brands. You have to tell, and Dabboo will tell you this, these editorials are called stories, and these stories have no words. And you have to enact and create and tell stories with your eyes and your body language and fashion and clothes. So understanding all of these things is very important. So I think creativity is number one. And relationships as well. Building good relationships with people.
Wow, that is insightful. But is there something that you would want all of the girls sitting at home, aspiring right about now to be a model? Is there something they should know before they enter this industry?
I mean, there's probably a few things that they should know. One is that it's definitely hard work. And secondly, I think actually the second thing I would say is, you know, have good relationships with all the people that you work with. Dabboo will tell you more about this as well. Nobody likes a bitch model. And secondly, I think be objective with yourself. I always say you model because you can. So back to those attributes like height and you know, just beautiful features, etc., etc.
How about you? Do you think your modeling career helped you in Bollywood?
I think everything has helped me down the way. I think when you are a model in this country, directors do look at you and wonder, oh, does she want to get into films? That's always a natural question. But I don't think it helped per se, because once I became an actor, a lot of people didn't think that I could act, and that was a preconceived notion or perception that I had to work very hard to break down. And the only way that you can do that is by just working really hard and working to prove people wrong. So while it did have its advantages because I got seen, it also had disadvantages because people just thought that I was talentless and just looked good all the time. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to both, but I'm not complaining.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go with Mr. Gaba.
I thought I'd be the last.
No.
Just saying. Yes.
Okay, so it's fine. That works just well.
Does this work? We could hear.
Just in case you forget his name, he's got it plastered on his jacket.
I thought I'm standing with three people who are very well known. Let me just give myself an identity.
Oh. So, Mr. Gaba, as a grooming expert, is there one quality you found to be something that sets a top model apart from a model?
Okay, my definition of top model is, or it has always been, that from within, you need to be confident enough of what you want to project on the outside. If you are not inside there with a feeling of that, yes, I can do it, and I will do it, and I am going to do it, and I am doing it, you can never be one. For anything in life, forget about just being a top model. So my life's philosophy has always been, आप अगर confident हो, आप जिंदगी में कुछ भी कर सकते हो. और उस confidence के साथ आपको एक अपने ऊपर विश्वास होना चाहिए और तैयारी तो हर चीज की जरूरी है ही है. So that is what has always been my mantra. Be confident, know what you're getting into, and I'm sure you'll get it.
Thank you. I feel inspired already.
Thank you.
But you've worked with so many models in the past, right? How has your experience on this show been different?
Okay, all the models that I have worked with, they all have been modeling. So, like I'm associated with Lakme Fashion Week, or was it Mintra Fashion Weekend, or other fashion properties. बहुत कम chances होते हैं when you see a fresh model walking such ramps, though they do auditions and everything. But when I came to India's Next Top Model, the best thing that I found was that most of them were raw. एक आटा जिसको आप गूंद सकते हो ना, उसको आप shape दे सकते हो. I am very Hindi and very basic in my being. So I will give you those examples only. So they all were as raw as one could be molded, or one would want to be at a stage to be molded into. So we have tried our level best, and we are just hoping that when you see them, you also realize that yes, they've been molded into good top models.
So are there any prospective top models in this raw atta that you found?
You know what? See MTV's India's Next Top Model, and you'll get to know.
Wow, I can't wait. Let's speak to Anusha, our favorite.
I'm ready.
Have yours.
This is what I do.
Okay, I'm wondering what I should ask you.
Whatever you like, honey.
So,
I could just talk.
Tell me, how has this show been different from everything else that you've done with MTV before?
Well, I have to say that this is a show that I've been waiting for 2 years, Addie. We've been waiting for this show to happen. And it's just been a dream come true because I've been a part of so many shows for MTV. MTV is my family, and I've been doing fashion for so long, and I've enjoyed every single moment of it. I've met different VJs across the world. I've done different shows of music, fashion, everything. But India's Next Top Model, when I used to watch America's Next Top Model when I was little, I used to think, oh my God, one day I have to do this show, because hosting is just about having that one dream, and this was it. And I loved being a part of it. And, if I ever have to finish my career as a host in life, this show would be the one I'd want to finish it with.
Ooh.
That is saying
That's just
something.
cool.
Yeah.
But you said it, like from VJing to acting to modeling, you've done it all. How difficult was it to mentor this time?
I've mentored before. We had a show called Teen Diva, but they were like lovely little teenagers, 15-year-olds. And this show, is epic because it's worldwide. Tyra Banks has made it iconic. People respect it. When you become a model from this show, you really are recognized. And so this was a lot of pressure because you want to mentor them in a really right manner, because they really are going to further their career with this show. It's not just a gimmick. It's not just something that we're doing for fun. It's something iconic that is in many, many countries across the world. So I had a lot of fun mentoring these girls. And like, the promo said, I may look like a friend, but I'm a bit strict.
So, from all of, this huge platform that you have, all of these models are getting an opportunity of a lifetime. Yeah. But as someone who's seen it from the very beginning, what is it that you look for a top model? In India, I think they always thought that we didn't, look for certain things that they look for abroad in a model. But that's not true. We have very, very beautiful women in this country, and it's very unexplored. And I think Top Model and the way that these guys really found these girls from all over the country, it wasn't just, these girls are in Mumbai, let's take them in a competition and let's just do the show. We went out, we looked, we hunted, and we found these beautiful women. And the world should know how gorgeous our women are. In a lot of shows abroad, we are the gimmick. But we're not going to be the gimmick anymore, because we're really gorgeous, we're very beautiful, and we have a lot to offer, and you're going to see that in this show. Woo! Wow. So, Anusha, what was it like working with all of these amazing people?
Well, I have to say that obviously Lisa's a stunning, beautiful supermodel, and she's got a lot of knowledge, and she knows a lot about what she's doing, so obviously she was an amazing asset to the show. Dabboo is a superstar photographer, and it was just an honor to have him on the show also, because he knows his, I shouldn't say shit, but he knows it. That's the MTV side of me coming out. Annie! And then, what the surprise element was Mr. Garba, because, we are maybe all experts in our fields, and he is definitely an expert, but never one that's been on TV or seen by an audience, always backstage. But let me tell you, he's not backstage anymore. He has walked right in front and given all he's got. And we are a Hindi-speaking channel now, so let me tell you, he gives it good. And he gives it good in Hindi also.
Wow.
He's really amazing. And
Thank
I love
you.
his eccentricity and his style. So I think the panel just brought everyone together. They had something different to offer. And I think we really molded well together. Yeah.
Thank you.
I could keep talking. You should stop asking me questions. I'm a VJ by profession.
So, Mr. Dabboo, as a photographer, what was the one thing that you were looking for in all of the contestants?
I think as a photographer, my main goal was to find, basically photo shoots are a very important part of a top model because, they're on the ramp or they are walking or they are doing an ad film or a photo shoot. So I think to study them in terms of how they face the camera, in terms of how they take instructions, that's very important because we work as directors. We tell them, okay, we explain the shots, we tell them what the mood is. Then it's finally for the actor, the model to take it to the next level. So a lot relies on them and the way they've understood the instructions. So I was looking in terms of, they may look ordinary in person, they may be raw in person, but when they actually photograph, that's what makes the difference. So, and their first photo shoot was with me, in the episodes. And so I could actually see them, grooming and in terms of evolving with every photo shoot and transforming from where they started till the end of the show. So I've seen a huge journey and I think that's what I was looking for. So finally, who comes out looking fab, who's, knows herself, who can pose, who knows her body language, expressions. I think, and being a photographer of celebrities, I look at the expression, even to that, the way they use their fingers, so look in every detail, like how she's performed in every photo shoot. So that's where I was coming from and look, studying them as complete models as I would want to photograph them in front of my camera.
Wow, thank you.
He was amazing at it.
Thank you.
You said something very interesting, and I've always wanted to know, do you have to be beautiful to make a picture look good?
I think,
How much is it the person and how much is it the photographer?
I think if you feel really great about yourself, you feel good about yourself, anybody who feels they are not photogenic can make themselves photogenic. I feel, if you're confident, it's one of those days where you wear the right clothes, right makeup, you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm feeling good, you look good. So you need to have that attitude for the whole photo shoot, that I'm feeling good about myself, that confidence, that kind of, feel it through the whole photo shoot, before the photo shoot, and, psych yourself about it. I think anybody can do it.
Wow, so there is hope for me. But tell me, how is it working on a TV show like this?
It's my first time on television. In fact, I've never done any kind of judging or any kind of, not associated with any kind of, any of these shows before. So it was very interesting, and I've waited many years to choose the right show. I had a lot of offers in between where there was one episode or one appearances, but I used to not get on to do it. I thought, when I do a show, it should be something memorable, and I think this is a perfect platform because, it's an international show coming down from so many countries and America's Next Top Model. So I thought this was the perfect platform to get started with on a television show. Yes.
And can we please give Dabboo Ratnani a huge round of applause because behind the lens to in front of the lens, he killed it. A huge round of applause for
Thank
Dabboo
you.
Ratnani. Woo! I love that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
That
my
was
pleasure.
insightful.
And our youngest VJ, and it's really nice to have both of them together on the stage. And to the three of you, for actually making this whole thing come alive. I remember us putting down a list of who could be a dream set of people who could sit on the panel for this show. And we had all your names on it, and we made all of it come true. And we found Mr. Gaba as well. So we got a bonus. So to me, the show is very interesting because it continues the journey that MTV believes in. And when I say that, I think that we strongly believe we are the land of opportunity for young people. With Roadies for over 12 years, we're giving young people a chance to find the hero within themselves. With the music shows that we do, whether it's MTV Unplugged or MTV Indies, we're always trying to find young musicians and give them a platform. And Coke Studio. But I think the thing that was missing in our armory was something to do with fashion. I think fashion's such a key part of young people's lives today. Fashion, design has become a really core part of young people's identity. And that's why it's no surprise to me that this is the first time we have actually bought a format. All the formats that run on MTV are all created at home. And for the first time, we went and actually picked up a format. And for that, I have to thank my partner in crime, Akash, and the whole team at Bulldog. It took a while, like Anusha said, 2 years we've been talking about doing this show. It finally came together. So thanks, Akash, for believing in us and having the faith. We all get to do the fun stuff, but my team standing there, the team from MTV.
7 p.m. on MTV India.
while being a model?
While being a model or while being a supermodel?
Being a supermodel.
While being a
Top model, Lisa.
Top model. I think, I remember when I was, the year that I was 22, I think it was 2009, 2008, 2009. And that year, I traveled all over the whole world, maybe even twice. I had been to Egypt. I shot for Vogue in Italy. We were in Rome. I was in Paris at Couture Fashion Week. And then I was in Thailand, Istanbul, like the entire world. And I just thought, for a 22-year-old girl, that was a dream. That was really a dream, to work with the people I was working with and to be able to see the world and earn money and be independent. So that's the upside of it, and for me that was a beautiful thing. I think traveling at a very young age also exposes you to a lot, it opens your mind, you meet such interesting people, and I couldn't imagine having that experience with any other job.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Mr. Gaba. This is Pooja here. Hi.
Good evening, Pooja.
I would like to ask you, what was your perspective to select a supermodel?
Okay, our perspective towards selecting the top model was that, like I said, they need to have that confidence in them, और उनमें खुद में एक वो belief होना चाहिए कि मैं ये कर सकती हूँ. आप एक ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पे जब सिलेक्ट होते हैं, then definitely you have the basics that one requires to be a top model. बट इतने सारे कंटेस्टेंट्स में क्या आप एक वो होगे जो टॉप मॉडल बनेगा? वो आपके अंदर से आना चाहिए. अगर वो आपके अंदर से नहीं आएगा तो I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thanks, Pooja.
My question is to Mr. Akash. Where is Mr. Akash? Mr. Akash.
Famous now. People want to ask you questions.
How do you will decide who will be the main girl? How do you will decide who will be the main girl? People want to see win.
So we don't cast divas, or it's tough to predict who's going to be the leader of the show. So globally what happens is we get a good, diverse mix of girls, and we are also surprised who comes out, with the best chances to win the show. So we look for, girls from various backgrounds, different personalities, and that's the real juice of the show, because it's all about the backdrop of modeling and the dynamics between the girls and how they get along with each other and the drama that they go through throughout the show. That's their journey. So we pick girls, basis that, and it's tough to, we also get surprised. So I hope that answers.
डब्बू जी, मेरा सवाल आपसे है कि कौन-कौन से पैरामीटर्स होते हैं, और आपने एक बहुत ज़रूरी बात कही कि फोटोग्राफर से एक अलग नज़र से देखते हैं जब भी आप सेलिब्रिटीज़ की फ़ोटो लेते हैं. कौन-कौन सी बारीकियां आप देखते हैं उस फोटो को लेने में?
जब हम फोटो लेते हैं, पहली बात तो जब फोटोशूट प्लान होता है, वी टेल द मॉडल के क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है, क्या किस तरह से उनका क्या पोज करने वाले हैं, क्या कॉन्सेप्ट, क्या कपड़े होने वाले हैं. फिर उसके हिसाब से वी प्लान द होल शूट, और उसके ऊपर मैं जज करता हूँ कि किस तरह से उन्होंने इंस्ट्रक्शंस लिया, किस तरह से परफॉर्म किया, एंड फाइनली हु लुक्ड बेस्ट इन द पिक्चर्स. फोटोज देखने के बाद ही फाइनली एक्चुअली थ्रू द लेंस हमको मालूम पड़ जाता है हु इज काइंड ऑफ परफॉर्मिंग. कोई ऐसी लड़कियां होती हैं जिसे हम इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते जाते हैं एंड दे स्टिल डू व्हाट इज इन देयर हेड. तो जब हमने ये शो स्टार्ट किया, जब फर्स्ट शूट में काफ़ी लड़कियों को मैं इंस्ट्रक्शंस दे रहा था, सम वर टेकिंग इट ब्यूटिफुली और बाकी लोगों को समझ में नहीं आ रहा था क्या करना है. तो वी वर ट्राइंग आवर बेस्ट, और सब टाइम बाउंड चैलेंजेस रहते हैं कि आपको इतने मिनट में ही फोटो शूट करना है, कि ऐसे नहीं है कि हम एक घंटा एक पर्सन का शूट कर रहे हैं. तो वो एबिलिटी के टू मैक्सिमाइज द टाइम, क्योंकि जब भी आप रियल वर्ल्ड में जाते हो फोटो शूट पे, it is expected of you to give your best and understand what the photographer wants. तो उस तरीका से मैं देख रहा था कि who's giving it 100%, who's not listening, किस तरह से. तो वो माइंड में रखना पड़ता है कि जब भी हम फाइनल जजिंग करते हैं.
Hi, I'm Shreya from the Asian Age Deccan Chronicle. My question is for Mr. Akash and the rest of the panel. Can you please tell me, do you guys know what goes on inside the house where the girls stay? And do the judges know what happens there and scoops and gossips? Do you get to know all of that?
So actually, the way it works is we get briefed from our mentors, from Anusha and Mr. Gaba, and the producers will, apprise our judges about what happened during the course of that week. And the reason we do that is because we don't want to censor the personal lives. We don't want that coming into the judging panel. So what the result of it is that we get a very real version of, analysis of their improvement week on week. So, hence they're not judged on what happens in the house amongst themselves. And it's more about their improvement, how they've done, improved as models.
So Mr. Garber and I have gone to the house many times to talk to them, see how they're doing. There's a lot of emotions that go on. You have to realize that when girls are living in a house together for a very long, extended amount of time, there will be, mood swings, drama, a little bit of here and there, whatever. But at the end of the day, like Akash said, when they come back onto the ramp, when they do their photo shoots and all of that, it cannot affect what they're doing. And if they let it affect it on their own during their performance, that's up to them. But what we do is we don't bring it into the panel, we don't bring it into the judging.
Another reason, very important, हम लोगों का to go into the top model house is important because ये सब जैसा हमने बोला, जैसे मैंने पहले बोला था, कच्चा आटा, they all are very raw. Most of them have never been away from their families. So they're living there alone for that duration. उनको एक कोई ऐसा फ्रेंड भी चाहिए मेंटोर के साथ साथ जिससे वो दिल खोल के अपनी बात कर सकें. तो अगर उनको कोई ऐसी परेशानी हो रही है जो वो अपने को कंटेस्टेंट्स के साथ नहीं शेयर कर सकते, एटलीस्ट हमारे साथ शेयर करके दे गेट एन ऑब्जेक्टिव व्यू ऑफ इट सो दे कैन कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन देयर कॉम्पिटिशन, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट दे आर हियर फॉर. दे आर हियर टू विन इंडियाज नेक्स्ट टॉप मॉडल.
It's also about how you survive the pressure,
One at a time, guys.
I know what to say. And then I think at the same time as well, it's very important for Dabboo and I not to interact with them too much because you do get emotionally attached to these girls and you do understand their stories and you start to get too into their lives. So that is where we cannot have that relationship with them because sometimes your emotional desire to see one girl rise or to see someone else come out because they've come from a harder place or you have an emotional connection with them, and that becomes very difficult. So I think for Dabboo and I it was much more we hear what goes on in the house, we understand the challenges they're going through, but we're not there to build a relationship with them until, of course, after the show.
Lisa.
But I also think that, like I said, there's a lot of pressure, and it's how they handle it, Are you a professional? Because when you leave the house and go into the real world, will you be able to handle what's really out there? And that's the kind of things that we were looking for as well. We were looking for the fact that are you strong enough, And can you wipe your tears, get in front of the camera and work it,
So Lisa, which is the thing you enjoy most, like modeling or acting?
I think I enjoy both. I think these days acting gets big modeling jobs and magazine covers. So I think if you focus on acting, then everything else kind of falls into place.
Hi, my question is for Aditya.
Guys, this is the last question.
Just wanted to understand, the auditions were held in which all cities of the country, and it's a weekly show. So how many episodes have you planned?
It's a 10-episode series that starts this Sunday. It's a Sunday slot, and every Sunday after that. Well, the auditions were all across the country. You have 13 girls pretty much from every part of India. They're not like open-door auditions that we do for some of the other shows, like, say, Roadies. But we have a team of from Monia and from the Face TV, as well as MTV. We have an entire, a talent scout team that travels the length and breadth of the country. MTV is very, very active on social media. I think when the show was announced, we had a lot of young girls from all across the country come in and talk to us. And from that, we actually drilled down and we came down to the final list of 13.
Thank you.
All right, so...
Say, Monya, can you come and say a few words? Because you were there. Come on, Monya. Come on, Monya. Come on, Monya. No, you've got to say it. Come on, Monya. She was the heart of this show, so she's coming down. I don't care. Come on, Monya. You can kill me later. It's okay.
For days on end, we spoke. We worked like dogs. I think everybody worked really hard, and I think it is. It's real. It's a real show, guys. It's a real.